really proud to say that I'm your son. Hello, Dad. Hello, Dad. Now when things started, it was very different. You tried to teach me things, but I didn't listen.
Hello, Dad. We're moving into a medical presentation this time. We have with us Dr. Peter from the St. George's University School of Medicine. Dr. Peter, come and talk to us about improving our health. All right.
My name is Dr. Peter. I'm at SGU. Yes, so as we all know, like the previous speaker before me, he mentioned something. You can't get financial security when you're not balanced in terms of health and your spirituality. So there's no productivity if you're not healthy. Of course, you'll be laid off if you constantly tell your employer that you're not healthy, you're not fit to work, of course. So today I'll be talking to us briefly about the importance of health in the family. Yeah, so I'll be speaking to us about what are the health challenges that we can have as a family. Of course, we know that the family is the basic unit of the society. And if the family is dysfunctional, that means the society too will be dysfunctional. If the family does not secure itself, then the society might not be productive enough to carry out all its responsibilities to its citizens. So I'll be talking about the challenges that that is commonly encountered here in this part of the world, in the Caribbean. And also, it is also similar to what we have in other parts of the world. First of all, before we move forward into that, I'll talk briefly about when the home starts. We know that the home is made up of the father, the mother, and the children. But before we even start the family, there are some basic things we need to do to secure our family. You don't want to start a relationship where you bring children into the world, which you will be running to and from the hospital all the time because they are sickly. So there are basic things that we could secure before we even talk about the marriage itself. So someone who is seeking to marry should do some basic tests, such as the genotype of the person you seek to marry. It is very important because we all know that sickle cell is something that carries very grave consequences to the body and carry a lot of financial burden to both the parent and the child itself. Not only the financial but emotional and the stress of when you see your child go through a lot of trauma, health challenges, you will be traumatized as an individual. So to make sure that does not happen in the first place, it is important that when you're seeking to marry, you and your spouse get tested so that you know your genotype. Of course, we know that the SS traits should not marry, or even if you are a carrier like AS, they should never marry. You can only marry if you are AA or AS. They should seek to marry. If you are AA, then you can marry any individual of any genotype. But if you are AS, you should avoid marrying someone who is also the AS genotype, because there is 50% chance for you to bring into the world someone who has the disease, the sickle cell. So in that very one, it is important to start on a good note. Also, there are other things that you can avoid when, like Down syndrome and the rest. That can be forestalled if we kind of marry a little bit earlier and we have our children before the woman turns 35 5. Okay, so that can be helpful to avoid Down syndrome. Okay, all right. So moving on from there, in this part of the world, there are four main health challenges, and those are heart diseases, diabetes, cancer, and HIV. They form the bulk of the health challenges we have in the Caribbean. And like my colleague mentioned earlier, health is wealth. So if you're not healthy, then you'll not be productive to support your family and to support your community. So there are certain things we could do as individuals to maintain our health. Some of the health, like the cardiovascular diseases I mentioned, that is one of the that has the highest disease burden in the Caribbean. We can do a lot of things to make sure that we do not come down easily with those. Okay? For instance, hypertension, hypertensive heart diseases, myocardial infarctions, that which we call heart attack. There are things that you can do to prevent them from happening to us. But when they happen, they are going to set you back a long time, and you might not be able to support your family if you're in that kind of situation. Okay, so for cardiovascular diseases, hypertension in particular, there are a lot of modifications that we as individuals, as fathers, and as head of the homes, we can do to prevent this happening to us or our partners. We can avoid foods that has high salt content. Okay? And I noticed that in this part of the world, most of the food we take, is laden with too much salt. And that is why if you go to the clinic, more than half of the people admitted to the hospital, more than half of the patients admitted have hypertension or diabetes. So we can avoid this by cutting down on our salt intake. Okay, cutting down on salt intake. Then there's also this what you can do. They call it physical activity. Okay, by the time you maintain some degree of exercise, you are going to help your system to provide a lot of circulation. Your organs get a lot of nutrients and circulation, and as a result, you'll be free from disease states. Okay? Then another one is diabetes. That is also something that is very common in this society, and it is a preventable illness in some sort. Or not, you may not, it's preventable because even though that it is partly genetic, it is also partly environmental. So by the time we consume a lot of refined sugars, it's going to result in obesity. And with obesity comes diabetes. Okay? So if you limit the amount of refined sugars you take and substitute them with natural foods, then we will be able to limit the propensity or tendency for us to develop diabetes. Okay? So, and also, apart from limiting refined sugars, we also limit the type of fat we take. Okay? We take food that occur naturally, take natural foods. That is the best way to secure those and limit high fat, fried food, KFC, pizzas, all those things are things that could